إِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ وَإِذَا. This is dal, waw, fatha, wa, hamza, kasra, I. When alif contains fatha, kasra, zamma, then we read alif as hamza. That is why we are reading this alif as hamza. Wa, I, dal, alif, fatha, da. Read dal very softly. We touch our top of the tip of the tongue to the inner edges of top to front teeth while reading dal. This is dal. Read very softly and do alif madda. When fatha come before alif, then you stretch alif up to one finger. So stretch it up to one finger. Wa idha qila lahum. This is another rule which is called ya madda. And before ya madda also this is qaf from mustaliya letter. Mustaliya letters are those letters which are always read in Quran with a thick voice. They are 7: kha, sad, dad, ta, la, ghain and qaf. So qaf is one of the mustaliya letter. Read it with a thick voice. Qaf, ya, kasra, qi. So this is also ya maddana. When ya becomes sakin, ya have a jazm sign on it, and before ya sakina kasra come, then you stretch ya up to one finger. Qi, qaf, ya, kasra, qi. Lam, fatha, la. Don't stretch fatha, kasra, zamma. We not stretch fatha, kasra, zamma. Arabic accent of harakats, fatha, kasra, zamma, zabar, zer, pesh are. We not stretch them. We not sudden pause them while reading. Qila lahum, lam, fatha, la, ha, mim, zamma, hum. Read this ha from the last part, bottom part of your throat. Aminu kama amanan nasu. In aminu, stretch hamza. When alif got any sign, fatha, kasra, zamma, vertical fatha or any type of sign, we read alif as hamza. Hamza, vertical fatha, a, mim, kasra, mi, ami. Noon, waw, zamma, nu. Stretch waw up to one finger. Because this is waw madda, when zamma come before waw sakina, we stretch waw up to one finger. Aminu, kama, kama. Kaf, fatha, ka, mim, alif, fatha, mad, ma. So this is mad on alif madda, and after mad, next word is starting with hamza. So hamza is next letter in next word in front. So this is madde munfasil. When after mad hamza come in the next word at the start, then you stretch mad because of hamza after it up to two fingers. This is called madde munfasil. Kama a, stretch hamza because of vertical fatha. We stretch vertical fatha, kasra, inverted zamma up to one finger. Amanan nasu. So noon contain a tashdeed sign. When noon become mushaddad, noon have a tashdeed sign on it, then you take noon sound into the nose and stretch up to one alif. This is called noon mushaddad gunna. Only you have to take noon sound into the nose. Amanan nasu. Stretch na also because this is also alif madda. There is zabar before alif like kama. So stretch up to one alif. Nasu. Don't stretch zamma on seen. Read seen with a whistle sound voice because this is from Safiriya letter. Aminu kama amanan nasu. Read qaf with a thick voice because this is mustaliya qaf. This is alif madda also. When fatha come before alif, you stretch alif up to one alif. Qaf, alif, fatha, qa. Lam, waw, zamma, mad, lu. This is mad on waw madda. When waw becomes sakin, waw has a jazm sign on it, and before waw sakina pesh come, zamma come, then you stretch waw up to one finger. But because of mad and after mad there is a hamza, the next word is starting with hamza. So when after mad, if the next word is starting with hamza, alif contain any sign, zabar, zer, pesh, vertical fatha, any sign, then alif become hamza. So when after mad hamza is next letter, then you stretch mad because of hamza up to two fingers. So this is madde munfasil because next word is starting after mad with hamza. So stretch it up to two fingers. qalu anu'minu. Read Hamza Sakina with a sudden jerk, sudden pause. Noon Hamza pesh no. Mim kasra mi. No mi. Noon zammanu. No minu. Anu minu. Anu minu. Kama. Stretch this mud also up to two fingers because after mud the next word is starting with Hamza. This is mad on alif madda. When fatah come before alif, we stretch alif up to one alif. So don't read mad separately like kama no. This is kama amanas sufaha. Hamza contain khadi zabar vertical fatha. That is why we are stretching Hamza up to one alif. Don't stretch fatha kasra zama. We stretch vertical harakats. We stretch letters of madda. We stretch mads. And we stretch gunnas of noon sakin and tanween and mim sakin. We not stretch harakats fatha kasra zama. So don't stretch fatha on mim. Amanas sufaha. This is waqf sign, and before waqf sign there is a hamza. Because of waqf we will make hamza sakin. When before waqf last letter contain fatah kasra zamma zabar zer pesh, then we make last letter sakin because of waqf. So we always do sudden jerk in hamza sakina. So that is why we are doing sudden jerk. Amanas sufaha musufaha'u. In humus sufaha'u, we will not stretch fatah kasra zama because these are called harakats fatah kasra zama, and we not stretch harakats, even we not sudden pause them while reading. Humus sufaha'u, yes, stretch ha because of mad and alif madda. When fatah come before alif and alif has no sign on it, then you stretch alif up to one finger, and this is mad. This long sign is called mad. Mad means to stretch. When mad comes on any letter, we stretch that letter up to two fingers or more. When after mad, if hamza is next letter, then you stretch mad because of hamza after it up to two fingers. So stretch it up to two fingers. Humus sufaha'u. Don't stretch pesh zamma on hamza. Wala, stretch khadi haraka up to one finger. It means when vertical fatha kasra inverted zamma comes on any letter, we stretch that letter up to one finger. Wala killa. When after noon sakin lam and ra come, we not stretch noon. Like we will not read like this wala kil. No, don't stretch it. Kaf lam kasra kill. Lam alif fatah la. This is also alif madda. When fatah come before alif, we stretch that alif up to one finger. So stretch it up to one finger. Wala killa ya'lamun. Ya ain fatah ya. Read ain from the middle of your throat. Lamun. Do waw madda. In ya'lamun, do waw madda. When zamma come before waw sakin, waw is sakin because of this dal shaped jazm sign before waw sakin or zamma come, you stretch waw up to one finger. This is called waw madda. And make noon sakin because of waqf. This is called waqf tam, this o sign, and it shows the completion of a Quranic ayah. Before waqf tam, if last letter contain fatah kasra zamma, then you make it sakin. La innahum humul mufsiduna. In Allah, don't stretch fatah on hamza. We not stretch fatah kasra and zamma. So this is fatah on hamza, hamza fatha a. Lam alif fatha mad la. Actually this is mad on alif madda. When fatah come before alif, we stretch that alif up to one finger. So this is alif madda, and alif madda got a mad sign on it, and after mad this is hamza. When after mad hamza is next letter, alif contain fatah kasra zama any type of haraka, alif become hamza. So after mad hamza is next letter, then you stretch because of hamza mad up to two fingers. Ala innahum. Do gunna in noon mushaddad. Mushaddad is that letter which got this small W shaped sign. So this is tashdid sign. When tashdid comes on any letter, the letter become mushaddad. Hamza, noon, kasra, in, noon, fathana, in. Don't stretch fatha. It means only you have to stretch noon in like this. Take noon sound into the nose and stretch up to one alif. This is called noon mushaddad gunna, and we always do gunna in noon mushaddad in Quran. Innahum, read half from the last part of the throat. Humul mufsiduna, Meme, fa, zamma, muf. Don't show movement in fa. This is not muf. We not show movement in sakin letters except kalkala letters. They are qaf, twa, ba, jim, dal, kutubu, jaddin. When they got a jazm sign, then we show movement in these letter voices. Any other letter except kalkala letter, we never ever show movement when the letter got a jazm sign on it. Mufsiduna, siduna. Read seen with a whistle sound voice, but don't stretch kasra below seen. Seen kasra si. Dal, waw, zamma, du. Stretch waw madda because there is a zamma before waw sakina. When zamma come before waw sakina, then you stretch waw in Quran up to one finger. This is called waw madda. Mufsiduna. Don't stretch zabar fatah on noon. Walakin la yash'urun. Wala. Don't stretch fatah on waw. Waw fatha wa. Lam vertical fatha la. But vertical fatha, vertical kasra, inverted zamma, we stretch up to one alif. That is why we are stretching this lam. Walakin la. Kaf, lam, zir, kill. Because this is lam after noon sakina, this is idgham. When after noon sakina the letters which are joined with noon sakin and tanween with the form of tashdid are ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, noon. So in lam and ra we don't do gunna. It means we will not stretch while reading while joining kaf with lam like this. Wala kill, no. Wala killa. It means when lam or ra come, we not do gunna in noon sakin and tanween, and while in other letters waw, ya, mim, noon, we do gunna in noon sakin and tanween. So this is kaf, lam, kasra, kill, lam, alif, fatah, la. This is also alif madda. When fatah come before alif, you stretch alif up to one finger. This is called alif madda. So stretch it. La, la. Stretch them equally. Khadi harakats and letters of madda, we equally stretch them. Walakin la yash'urun. In yash'urun, read ain from the middle of your throat. Ain zama'u. Ra waw zamaru. Because this is ra and ra has a zamma sign on it. When ra got a zamma or fatha sign on it, we read ra with the thick voice. So read ra with the thick voice. Roon. This is also waw madda. When zamma come before waw sakin, we stretch waw up to one finger. This is called waw madda. Yash'urun. Make noon sakin because of waqf. This is called waqf tam. Waqf tam indicates the completion of a Quranic ayah. Before waqf tam, if the last letter contain fatah, kasra, zamma, then you make last letter sakin because of waqf tam. Walakin la yash'urun.